Buonasera, everyone. My name is Kristen Herzog, and welcome to Anywhere with me, Kristen. I'm living in Kokomo, Sicily, where I just got my dual citizenship. If you'd like to hear more about that episode, feel free to click on the link below to learn more about those details. Today, I want to talk about some interesting little slices of life that have happened recently. As you know, this YouTube channel is open to the public. Well, I had a lady reach out to me and say, hey, we just moved here. We are living here in Kokomo. We're from the States. We saw your channel and we'd love to meet you. And I said, sure, that would be great. She said, we can see the mother church from our house. And I said, I can also see the mother church from my house. And so we made a deal that we would stand on our balconies, like the one I'm on now, and that on the count of 3, I would shout her name and she would reply if she could hear me. Now keep in mind, this is a mountainous town and who knows where in the town she is. So we both went out on our balconies. I shouted her name and I heard her shout back, "Anywhere with Kristen!" And I was filled with glee and then proceeded to go downstairs to find her and her husband, and we enjoyed a wonderful, wonderful lunch. So thanks to you guys for that hospitality. Small towns are so funny that way. I see the same people all the time. Many of them, we know each other's names and, they ask how my family is in the States. They talk about, what I think about the most recent political situation in my country. And just, it's very interesting to have that kind of relationship with people who just kind of live in the town. It's probably a really good thing that I am not an introvert because I don't know how introverts live in a small Italian town like this. People are always around. People are always asking you about your day, about your family. What are you doing? Where are you going? What did you have for lunch? Did you enjoy your lunch? What are you going to make for dinner? So much information. Well, the other night I said, I need a break. I want to have a movie night in my own house. So I decided to get a pizza from the Castellana, and I walked over and I got the pizza and I brought it home and I sat down and I was like, I'm going to watch Netflix on my phone. Well, 3 people later who came to my house, ding dong, hey, what are you doing for dinner? Oh, how about dessert? What are you doing for coffee? What about tomorrow? What are you having for lunch tomorrow? They love to talk about what they're going to eat all the time. I have learned that it's very, very important to make fast friends by saying, what did you make for dinner last night? And ask them for a step-by-step process on how they prepared it. People love to talk about food. Anytime, any day, at any moment, and any meal or snack or party or festival, they want to talk about food. Food is the way to people's hearts here in Kokomo. So there is definitely a big difference between Northern Italians and Sicilians, and they are very quick to point that out. Thank you very much. I think that there is definitely a cultural disconnect between Northern Italians and Sicilians. And the way that I see that as an American is that Northern Italians very much want me to qualify that I am living in Sicily. I am experiencing Sicily. I'm in a small town in Sicily. And I have even had some people say, well, you're not really in like the real Italy. You're in Sicily. Personally, I think that that's ridiculous. This is Italy. It is a different culture for sure. But guys, it's real clear in like the very first 1 minute of my videos where I'm at, why I'm here, and that it's very, very different from where I'm at. So I live in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, the heart of the Amish people. There is no way that my experience in the Amish country is going to look like someone's from New York City. But guess what? We're all still Americans. So for me, I think that we all can just relax and say that the world is a diverse place. Countries are diverse. And it's really okay for us to celebrate the differences and the similarities. No culture is perfect, and I will say that America has a ton of problems. And I am thoroughly enjoying being here because I get to get away from some of those problems for a temporary basis. So I went to Palermo this week to visit my cousin Laura, and I brought with me Juicy, who you've met in another video. If you'd like to learn about her and her awesome dad, who's 90 years old, still plays the clarinet and smokes cigarettes, you got to watch that video because this guy is a character. We decided to leave Cacamo and go for the day to visit Laura. We went to visit her mother in central Palermo to her beautiful home. And then afterwards, we went to Laura's awesome beach house and enjoyed walking on the beach. It wasn't warm enough to do any swimming because, hey, it's January, but still wonderful time, great food. It was really enjoyable to see Juicy in downtown Palermo. Now keep in mind, this is like the mecca of the town we live in. It's super chill here, very quiet, everyone knows everyone, and in comparison, the bustling city of Palermo looks and feels super different. So it was really fun to just be with her and to sense her excitement, her joy of being in that unknown area, and just also some of the timidity with, okay, how do I get from point to point and those things. And, you know, as somebody who grew up very close to New York City and was in New York City very often for various events and things, Palermo to me seems really small, and Cacamo is on a whole other level of small. But, you know, I think we all have to embrace where we're at and embrace each city, each town for what it offers. You know, I'm not a big sausage person, but Cacamo is known for its sausage. Like, there is so many different varieties of meat here. It's incredible. And, you know, that's okay. Palermo is known for other things, and Rome is known for other things. Different regions of America are known for other things. And like, I think it's so great for us to celebrate our diversity. And sometimes I worry that our diversity is getting less and less as the years go on. And as we become more global and more tech savvy, I feel like there's definitely some lost art to real, authentic culture. And I do feel like I have that here in Cacamo. This is an authentic culture, an authentic town with real people, a people who've embraced me as their own. I was given a really, really good compliment, and one that surprised me the other day. I had a lady from here in Cacamo, also known as Cacamese people. She congratulated me on getting my dual citizenship. And then she said, "You are as Cacamese as I am." And I was so honored by that because it said that I am a part of this here. And this is my hometown. This is my ancestral hometown. And now for this time being, I live here. And this is also my residence, my hometown. I felt very honored for that to be so unsolicited. Such a beautiful thing to think about, how big and wide this world is and how I get to share two cultures, two identities, both as an Italian and as an American. I'm very, very fortunate. So the question has been raised, do I miss choice? Do I miss having choices of different types of foods from different cultures, different ways of preparing them? There's only one grocery store in Cacamo that has maybe 6 aisles of food. And then there's a bunch of little places too that sell like super basic stuff. I was asked, do I miss having the variety of products and food and culture in the States? The only thing I crave is Chinese food, which I've shared in another video. But I think that your taste buds maybe get used to what's available. I'm a little bit more experimental now than I was when I first got here. I'm trying different types of fruits and vegetables just to kind of keep it real. I recently moved and I have a extremely limited amount of stuff. 1 set of sheets, 4 forks, 4 glasses, 4 plates, and just not a lot of extra, to say the least. So I decided to host about 10 Italian ladies from my town to play an Italian card game called Cuckoo. And just trying to host all of those people in this tiny apartment, just learning a card game and making sure everybody has enough drinks and desserts. Oh my, it was a lot of fun. So I did want to mention that I got my Scopa deck at Euromania. Euromania is kind of like Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, and everything's €1. So €1 is the equivalent to about $1. So my Scopa deck is coming home with me, and if I ever learn how to play it right and can teach other people, I'm going to teach my family and friends back home. So that's the plan anyway. So I went food shopping yesterday, which is super exciting. Do you guys want to see my fridge, like what I eat here with the lack of all of the amenities and choices? I'll show you now. Come on. This is my fridge. As you can see, I've got a lot of fresh fruit. I have some bread here, some salad, bottles of water. Here I have asparagus and mozzarella from buffalo's milk. I have giardiniera, cheese, ham, and apple, leftover pizza that was delicious, and some other things. And then my friend Rosetta gave me her homemade tomato sauce, so I have a bunch of that. And then I also have some other things up here. This is melanzana sauce, which is eggplant sauce. Here I have pesto sauce and pistachio sauce. I eat a lot of pasta here. I'll tell you what, pasta is my friend. And down here I have a freezer. This is an enormous size fridge and freezer for what I have seen in my experience here in Sicily. This is my ancestral home church in the background. It is very interesting to celebrate Mass at a place that your ancestors have been attending for hundreds, if not thousands of years. The church is called Chiesa Madre. The mother church is very special to me. It holds a very special place in my heart because, number one, there are 3 different pews that have the names of my ancestors on them in memory of their death. So that's really cool to like sit in that pew and see that little placard there that says the name of my ancestor, one of which served in World War I. I learned about him in a previous video about the war memorial event here in Cacamo and just how meaningful that was for me. Yeah, just walking into the church, seeing the basin where my ancestors would have been christened or baptized as babies, to sit and being immersed in all of the beautiful paintings and pictures and sculptures and marble of the life of Christ, of different situations in Italian history, of the crests of different families that lived here. Celebrating Mass hits different when you're in your ancestral church. As some of you know, I'm married to a Mennonite. Mennonites are a very conservative Protestant group that are cousins to the Amish. But I've been living and immersed in the Mennonite culture for over 20 years. My identity as a Catholic has shifted over the years. My parents left the Catholic Church when I was a kid. My grandparents did not, and so I would attend Mass with my grandparents in New Jersey. I decided to join the Catholic Church as an adult, but over the years, raising children, it got complicated to go to 2 different churches. So we decided, my husband and I, to raise my son Mennonite. He attends a Mennonite school, and we attend a Mennonite church in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. But being here in my own culture, in my own church history, and in my own literal church, it hits different. Religion hits different, spirituality hits different. My relationship with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, it really does look and feel and sense differently. I think that's because at the core of all of our identity is knowing that we are very small and that there is something bigger than us in this world, no matter where you're from, what religion or doctrine or theology. I think that it's inherent in most people to feel a sense of our smallness. Every time I travel and I see all the little people running around and in their cars in traffic, and I'm reminded of how small and really, in many ways, insignificant my own life is. You know, being here, being in this town, overlooking my ancestral church from my own house is so meaningful. It speaks to the core of who Kristen is. It's hard to put into words. It's really hard. I appreciate your thoughts, your prayers, your questions, your responses. I wish you and yours, in whatever journey you're on, that your eyes would be open to see what is around you and to find joy in it. Take care.